So, the normally people take food in the morning, afternoon, evening, and at night. So there are normally, as per Indian culture, we have food at four times, four meals in a day. Okay, some people take only 3 meals, some take 4 meals. Normally, the 4 meals are there. So, and also we have to maintain a timing. Okay, so there is a breakfast in the morning and lunch in the afternoon and evening tea in the evening, okay, and dinner at night. So these are the four food that we are taking. So there should be good food that we have to take, and whatever is required, and don't is up to this much means full stomach you should not eat. Only 3/4 of the stomach means a little bit portion you have to give gap. So don't simply fill up the stomach with so much amount of food. If fully food is there, then what happens is that, as I told you, if we have to break down the food, and for that purpose we need a more amount of what to say, enzymes and acids and all are to be added with the food. So and also water is required. All these things has to be mixed up, then only the breaking process will start, digesting process will start. So for that purpose we need more amount of space, and that space we have to give. If you fully fill up this one, so this is also we have seen like a mixie jar. If you are there, and if you completely fully filling, then when it starts rotating, it will that cap will come out, isn't it? So that is there. So we need or it will be showing like overload. Okay, so this is a machine. So such a way the grinder or the mixer, such a way our stomach also is a machine. So it requires space, it requires time, and it requires a lot amount of energy. So eating between meals may result in loss of appetite, indigestion, tiredness, and laziness. So what happens is that if you eat so much amount of food, then what happens is that we will get tired in between. So when you get tired, you need more you will not have a proper digestion. Indigestion will be there, and it will lead us to tiredness. We will get tired very much fast, and after that we will become very much lazy. Means we will feel so much tired, and we will not be able to see, like as I told you, for digesting, getting our body or getting this digestion, we need a lot amount of energy, and the breaking down of this food will take a lot amount of time. Okay, so that will be there, and it requires a lot amount of energy also. So that energy is used for breaking down the food. Then our body, we feel that we are very much tired, and such type of people, after you might have seen that sometimes you might have also observed, like imagine that you are going for a marriage party, or when you are some festival or some type of functions and all are there in your house. Then what happens, you eat a lot. When you eat too much, then what happens, you feel tired, you will not be able to. So we need energy for doing the things, we need food for doing the activities. But if you eat too much, what happens, we get again tired, we will not be able to do any work. It is because that our stomach is filled, and our stomach needs so much amount of energy for processing this food, and so the entire energy is used for processing the food, so that we will not have sufficient amount of energy. And when there is a heavy, like if so much amount of work is there, so imagine that if some work, as I told you, like some homeworks are given, so little bit some homework is given, then we will feel easily we will complete it, and we will feel relaxed. There is no problem. But what happens is that if too much amount of work is given, then what happens, we will get tired. So we will not be able to do the job in a proper manner. So that is a big problem. So we have to adjust, we have to see to it that the work, there should be gap between the food that we are eating. People forget that stomach is like a machine which needs rest like any other machine. Therefore, doctors advise us to eat at a fixed times, which should not be more than 4 or 5 times with sufficient gap after each meal. So we need to take only 4 or 5 times, maximum 5 times. So 4 times is the good method of eating, like as it is there, like morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Okay, and night also it should not be so much long. Some people take like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and they are having food, and after that they go to sleep. So after having the food, we need to walk, or we need to be doing some work. So like simply after eating, you should not lie down and sleep. Okay, so that is also create problem. At least half an hour before sleeping, you have to take the food. Okay, so 4 times will be the best time that we have to do the take the food, and as per the doctor specify, we have to take 4 or 5 times, and there should be gap between that. So like 5 times you mean doesn't mean that 1, 2, 3, 4 like that continuously you eat. Okay, so like morning, you get up in the morning, maybe like 7 o'clock you have one food. Then after that maybe like you need to see like when you like 7 o'clock, or maybe like some people take a breakfast at, so 7 o'clock you have a tea and other type of things, and maybe 10 o'clock you will have a breakfast, 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock you have the lunch, then 4 o'clock you can have the tea and some snacks, then maybe around evening 7 o'clock and all we can have the supper. So such a way when you calculate, then there will be sufficient gap between the food that we are taking. Okay, so like at least 2 or 3 hours gap will be there. So this gap will help the body to digest the food that we are eating. Okay, so this way we have to eat. We should give gap between the food that we are eating. Okay, taking food hour after hour will result in ill health. If you don't follow this method, and if you simply eat simply continuously, if you are eating, then what happens? You will be getting sickness. Okay, so because of that, you have to be careful about this one. So when you take food, you have to take sufficient amount of gap between each and every food that we are eating. Okay, so one food you eat, and give little bit gap, at least some 2 hours time, and in between that you should not eat any much food. And they say that you have to eat the food, and after half an hour we have to drink water, or before eating we need to drink water, like half an hour before and half an hour after. So about drinking water we have to study later on, so that we will discuss afterwards. Okay, so this is the most important thing that we have to maintain, is that we have to give gap between the food that we are taking. Okay, so one food you take, then after that you take. So normally what children are doing is that they may be watching TV, and they will have some snacks in their hand, some biscuits will be there, some namkeen will be there, so you will be keep on eating, you know. So and you are watching, your concentration is on the watching TV, and you are not concentrating on the food. So such kind of things should not be there. Some parents, they give mobile phones to the children for eating. So while they are watching the mobile phone and they are eating, so they may be watching some cartoons or some other things, and they'll be eating. So that also is not a good habit. Okay, so we have to understand what we are eating. We should understand the taste of it. We should chew it, and we should eat it, and we should eat only what is required for our body. Okay, so the remaining portion we will discuss in the next class. Thank you so much.